it's kind of crazy because I honestly didn't like the Rocky Broad the first, I don't know, 20 times I ran it probably, because it scared me. It was just, I felt like it was sievey and dangerous, and I didn't have a great time, but I kept going and kind of pushing through that, and eventually just started to love it. My boating skills caught up to it. And now Leland and I are the locals on the Rocky Broad because we just kayak there all the time. And we even bought property there. When the rains are coming towards the Rocky Broad, I get very excited. There are more challenging and more wilderness runs around Asheville that you can do besides the Rocky Broad. But the Rocky Broad is just really fun. When I first met Leland, he talked about how he wanted to write a guidebook to North Carolina, and that was his passion. And I thought that was awesome. I mainly just helped him with that one, and that was his guidebook. And then we just had the idea, why don't we make a guidebook about all of North America? Like, hey, what if you actually want to go on a road trip, live in your truck, live in your van? Because you get the local guidebook and there's so much. Kind of, even though it was a guidebook for bringing tourists to different areas, also a nod to the local legends and the local culture and the local rivers as well. I like rivers that are free-flowing and changing because it reminds me that nothing is a given. Everything changes, and not to get too attached to anything. But on the other hand, I love knowing where all the good boofs are. And when a good boof washes away, I get pissed off about that. So there's actually been a couple that have gone away, but then other rapids have gotten better. I like to be a person that wants to continue learning. I don't want to be stagnant, and whitewater is so inspiring, and I'm inspired every time I get on the river. There's just so much to learn about everything in life, and the older I get, the more I know the more I realize that I don't know anything. When it runs in the summertime and there's a ton of tourists in town, and they're just all along the banks of the rivers, and they're waving and they're excited to see kayakers. I love to wave back, and I always try to wave back to the kids. The kids are always standing on the rocks with their mouths open like, oh my God, that looks like so much fun. And I look at it and I'm like, yeah, this is that much fun. You want to do this, especially to the little girls. So I'm hoping that one day they'll be out there. I'm Andria Davis, and this is my home run.